Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much again for joining us. This is the first event of our 2021 Spring into Service series, and we have called this Starting Your Journey to Impact because it really is going to be a great introduction to some amazing service programs that serve nationally as well as internationally. Once again, we have both City Year and Teach for America are addressing education primarily. We have the Florida Vista Network, which is education oriented and works with other nonprofits addressing different social issues. Both Public Allies and Repair the World, they are doing work with different nonprofits. They have cohorts. I feel like they kind of have a similar model with NCCC, FEMA Corps, and the Peace Corps. There are more adventurous service organizations. They travel, whether it's throughout the U.S. or abroad. And we have our Health Corps, which is doing really important work right now. I mean, everyone is, but right now, that's what's on everyone's mind. And also in the room, I hope that she's still here. We have Barbara from Centro Campesino. I believe she's still here. Trying to scroll through the participants. So Barbara can also, answer questions that our audience has as well. So if I can have, and I'll just go in order from what my slide was. City Year, can you please share your mission again as a reminder?
Yes. So City Year's mission officially is to build democracy through citizen service, civic leadership, and social entrepreneurship.
All right. Public Allies, what's your mission?
To create a just and equitable society and the diverse leadership to sustain it.
And NCCC, what's your mission?
To strengthen communities and develop leaders through team-based national and community service.
TFA, what's your mission? Jasmine, are you still with us?
I can't hear you.
I think she's muted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just unmute yourself real fast.
No.
It's the little button to the very left.
I think she's having technical difficulties.
Okay. National Health Corps, what's your mission? We'll get back to TFA.
Sure. Our mission is to foster healthy communities by connecting those who need it most with health and wellness education, benefits, and services, while developing tomorrow's compassionate health leaders.
All right. Florida Vista Network, what's your mission?
It is to help others and meet critical needs in the community through anti-poverty community-based initiatives.
And Repair the World, what's your mission?
Repair the World mobilizes Jews and their communities to take action to pursue a just world, igniting a lifelong commitment to service.
Peace Corps, what's your mission?
To promote world peace and friendship through intercultural exchange and capacity building.
And TFA. Oh man, no. Darn it. Well, you know what? I'm going to find your mission super fast and read it out. Maybe if you plug in your
dropped it in the
Oh,
chat.
there we go. Look at that. Thank you. Teach for America finds, develops, and supports a diverse network of leaders working together to end educational inequity. Alumni, core members, and staff work in schools and every sector and field, helping shape the educational opportunities in America. But we do want you to be able to share, but I guess if that's how we do it, that's fine. I can read it out loud for the recording. All right. So earlier, one of our questions had been, and I think we can kick it off here. And just remember, whoever wants to ask a question, this is the time to get to know our programs better. Someone was saying that I'm just trying to find it. They're in a tough economic situation themselves, but they still want to help. They still want to serve. So they are wondering about time commitment too. and it's not clear what year this person is, but it sounds like they're still a student. So if you all could share a little bit about the payment benefits of your program, the time commitment, and yeah, let's go with that. Oh my gosh, I forgot, Centro Campesino. Can you please introduce yourself? My apologies.
Most definitely. Thank you. I actually just put it in our chat. We at Centro Campesino empowers family and strengthens community by providing affordable housing, homeownership support, and economic and educational opportunities.
Okay, my apologies. Okay, we're going to go back to the question now. So whoever wants to chime in, you'll pop up on the screen. So we can only do one person at a time. But yeah, let's answer those questions.
I can go ahead and go first if my internet connection seems to be strong right now. Yeah. But for AmeriCorps Vista, we have both full year opportunities that are a full-time 365-day commitment, and then we also have short-term participation in our summer associate program, and you serve for 10 weeks. You still serve full-time, and in both of these you not only receive a living allowance, it depends on the county, but it's going to be right around $1,000 to $1,200 pre-tax, and then you also, if you do a full year of service, you have the option of selecting an end of service education award, which is $6,095. You can put that towards the loans that you have already accrued, or put it towards future schooling. You have 7 years to use it. It's like a Pell Grant. The same goes for the summer service. So if you only have 10 weeks, if you want to do, if you're a student or if you're not able to, commit fully to this, you can do 10 weeks of service. It starts May 24th, runs through August 1st, and the end of service award is an education award is $1,300, and then the cash stipend is $300. So you do have some options there, and also if you are full-time and need to relocate, there is a stipend for that and a stipend for your mileage. So there are absolutely different options as far as AmeriCorps Vista is concerned. Also, some sites do provide housing, which is a huge benefit. So I would say if you're looking at AmeriCorps, looking at sites that have housing is going to help you make your living allowance go further.
And I'm just going to pop up this beautiful graphic about the Florida Vista Network, and that's a reminder to our other programs. As you're speaking, feel free to share your screen so people get a little bit of visual as you're talking. So you can see the different kinds of spaces that Vistas might be in and their mission, and the different benefits, and Anna's contact information, which I'll be sending out all of these different slides for our programs to our attendees after. That way you have the details that they were sharing. So you don't have to take too many notes right now, but you're more than welcome to. All right. So who wants to go next? Yeah.
I can go real quick. I'll share my little PDF here. So for the Peace Corps, it is a 27-month commitment. So you have 3 months in the very beginning for training. And then in this training, it's called cultural immersion. So you learn all about the country that you'll be living in, working in. You learn the language if you need to. You have language classes 3 or 4 times a week. And they really get you prepared for communicating and working in that language. And then you also learn about the traditional food, dress, social norms, hand gestures. One thing might mean something here in the United States that means something completely different in the country that you'll be serving in. So you learn all of that in training, and they really, really over-prepare you for your service. You also learn all about the different medical and safety measures that are in place for our volunteers. Peace Corps is very concerned, always concerned about the health and safety of all the volunteers. So that always comes first as a priority. And then the living stipend that Peace Corps volunteers receive is enough to pay for your food, water, and transportation. Peace Corps also provides housing. For me, when I was in Guatemala, I did live with host families, and all other Guatemala volunteers lived with host families, which was great. And then also, if you're in a different country, you either have a host family, host house, or your own separate living quarters. And then if you have loans, they can be deferred. You can also get an allotment for any other loans that you might have, because you are given about $300 per month that is set aside that you cannot touch, that is just put into a separate account so that you can use when you return from service. It's called your readjustment allowance. It's about $10,000 of readjustment funds that you can use when you come back from your service. And then you're also offered non-competitive eligibility, which gives you higher status for government jobs. And then also the Paul D. Coverdale Fellowships, which are scholarships for graduate school, which Peace Corps volunteers have for their entire lives after returning from service. So I think that's all of the benefits and everything that's covered for a volunteer. And this is kind of just our fact sheet. History, yeah. Little information about us.
And Taylor, we had this question I sent you in the chat. Someone just wrapped up high school, but they're really interested in Peace Corps. So what kind of advice you had for them?
Sure, yeah, good question. So I will say it is a pretty competitive application. 95% of our volunteers do have an undergraduate degree, or you can apply with 3 to 5 years of specialized work experience. So I'd say you wish to start college. I'd say get some experience, either work experience or get an associate's degree or something. Get some, an internship or, like I said, some type of experience, and then
one of the other AmeriCorps programs.
Yeah, exactly. Do AmeriCorps for a year. There are a lot of volunteers that do AmeriCorps first and then Peace Corps. So that's a whole different network that you can be a part of as well. So yeah. Talk to Naomi, do AmeriCorps, and then come talk to me, and I'll get you set up with a Peace Corps application. Yeah, definitely get some experience in your belt, and then we'll start applying.
Awesome, thank you. Who wants to go next?
I can touch on that. This is Emily with NCCC again, because actually we have quite a few members who go to Peace Corps after serving with us every year, and so the NCCC allows members to serve right out of high school. It's a great gap year option to get some service experience and help you figure out where you want to go and what you might want to study in college. And then once you finish school, then you could go on and do Peace Corps. That's traditionally what a lot of folks end up doing. But NCCC specifically covers everything. So you serve for 10 to 12 months, and we have 4 training locations around the country because we've divided the country and all of its territories into 4 regions. So our training locations are in California, Colorado, Iowa, and Mississippi. I'm in Mississippi. And but when you apply, you're randomly assigned to a location in a region. You're not assigned based on where you live. And so we pay for you to get to the training location and then back home at the end of your service. And then when you're in the program, we cover your food, housing, uniforms. You get a living stipend. There's options to accrue some college credits. There's an education award. The other AmeriCorps programs offer the same amount as the Pell Grant. I believe Anna mentioned it already. That is available to you at the end of your service. And so because we're covering so much, you're actually able to, you can save quite a bit in the program if you're frugal and determined about it. So there's not really any cost limitations to serving with NCCC except time. 10 to 12 months can be a pretty long commitment depending on where you're at in your life.
All right, thank you so much, Emily. Who else wants to share?
I can go next. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Finally, woo, yes. Okay, I'm going to share my screen, guys. Oh, did you want to share yours first, Emily? I know you just spoke.
I'll share mine at the end of yours because I have to get mine ready. Sorry.
I want to make sure you had time to share. All right, so I have a few slides, so I'm going to try to run through this pretty quickly. So you will receive a full salary and benefits as a core member. So depending on what region you're in, you are going to be able to get full salary and benefits in that specific region. The way to look at that on our website is Compare Regions tool. You can look up the cost of living in that area, the average salary there, just as you're making a decision about where you would like to go. Core members are also eligible for the AmeriCorps Education Award. So that is something that you can get. You can get up to $6,000 each year that you do the core. And so since it's a 2-year commitment, you can get up to $11,000 once you are finished. And you can use that for graduate school or past loans or anything like that. And we provide loan forbearance, I think everybody on the call does, where loan companies will not be able to contact you about, hey, it's time to pay. So while all my friends were talking about the loan companies hitting them up, I did not get that. So what you can use that education award for is graduate school or past loans. And that is what I use mine for. You can also apply for transitional funding. Say, for instance, you are moving to another state in another region because we have 50 regions across the U.S., then you can also apply for transitional funding. That is grant and loans. The grant portion, you will not have to pay back, but the loans you will. And a lot of people utilize that. I think we're only talking about economic. Is there anything else I'm missing?
I mean, you can definitely share whatever you think is important for people who would be interested in programs like TFA. Like, it is a little bit longer than other core programs, right? Maybe even closer to Peace Corps, if not longer.
Yes. So it is a 2-year commitment. And so this is what we are looking for. So eligibility, a junior or a senior, any major, minimum 2.5 GPA, U.S. permanent resident or capital recipient. And there are some of the benefits which I've already talked about a little bit, but this is AmeriCorps membership, AmeriCorps Siegel Education Award, graduate school partnerships, leadership and professional development, and meaningful and profound community impact. And so for our juniors, this is just the benefit of being able to apply early. So if you are graduating after May of 2021, then you are considered a junior. And so you can start with your senior with a job offer in your hand. You have access to that exclusive leadership development and extended time. So you will find out if you got into the Teacher America Corps in spring of this year, and you wouldn't have to make a decision until fall of 2021. And you're able to just connect with a lot of other change makers and have a greater likelihood of your top preferred placement. So if you put number 1, I would like to go to LA, even if you are in North Carolina, you are able to get that as an early applicant. And then lastly, our last application deadline for our early applicants, so that means if you are graduating after June 2021 and before from June 2021 to May 2022, you are able to apply for our early application, and that next one is going to be April 9th. I put my contact information up here as well, and what I'll do is put the interest survey in the chat as well.
And what I'll have you do is kind of put everything on one side and send that to me so I can send it out to everyone as well. And I have your email on the one main side, so everyone will get that. All right. Who is next?
And I'll just share my screen real quick. So that's just a little bit of quick breakdown for the NCCC program and FEMA Corps program, and everything they have in common is down the center. I will drop my email in the chat as well. And Naomi said you were sending these all out.
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna send the slides out. I'm gonna make sure everyone has contact information since things can get a little bit lost in the chat feature. So no worries. Thank you so much, Emily. Who wants to go next? We just have a few more minutes for programs to chime in to answer the questions. So we're gonna wrap up in about.
I can share my screen. National Health. I'll share my screen. And then
yes, let's do it.
Yeah, and I can talk a little bit about our program. So
Ours is a full, a little less than a year of service, but it is full-time. So we do receive a stipend for the year that's broken down in biweekly allotments. We are not provided housing, but we do mostly connect with our fellow cohort before we move. So most of our members do live with each other, or a lot live at home, things like that, to kind of make it manageable. And then additionally, most of us are eligible and do take advantage of SNAP benefits since we are stipended. And that tends to be about $200 a month or more for food. So that definitely helps offset the cost. And then we are eligible for the AmeriCorps Education Award as well, and our loans are in deferment. So it's manageable. You just have to budget right, and you get program support with that and with the applications for SNAP benefits, and everyone else is going through the same thing. So you might not save a ton, but it's definitely livable, and you can work it. And then to be eligible, you only need to be 18 and have a GED. Pretty much all of our members right now are recent graduates. A lot use this as a transition year to gain experience before going to grad school or a health-oriented career path, but we welcome anyone to apply.
Next.
Yeah, go ahead, jump in.
So City Year. So City Year has a lot of the same benefits as the other AmeriCorps programs in terms of the $6,000 Siegel Education Award Scholarship. We do bi-weekly stipends that vary depending on the location. The reason I said earlier don't come to City Year for the money is because that's honestly one of the biggest reasons people quit midway through, because they realize this is hard work and I'm not getting paid a lot. So I don't say come here for the money. Come here because you truly want to make an impact on students, and look at the money as a bonus. Look at it as a time for you as a young person to develop, like someone else said, your budgeting skills, how to discipline yourself. Like, look at it as a fully personal and professional growth experience. And it is workable. A lot of our people get part-time jobs, whether it's driving Uber, tutoring on the side, babysitting, different things like that. So it's definitely manageable, but it won't be easy. So please understand that before you apply, but it's definitely doable, definitely worth it. And the things that you get out of it go beyond the benefits that you see on this page. Definitely a lot of networking and personal growth. You'll build relationships that will last you a lifetime. The experience and the skills will definitely help you leverage and to be able to get that first quote-unquote real job that is paying the salary and benefits. So, yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
And Africa, I know you had popped up your slide at the very beginning, but if you want to pop that up real fast, and that's something that I will be sending out to everyone as well.
I thought I shared it. My bad.
Oh, no, it's all good. There we go. So we have a few more minutes. I want to make sure if we haven't heard from Public Allies as much or Repair the World, that you have a chance to share what was on your mind in terms of the questions that were being asked.
You can go next, Centro Campesino, if that's okay, and I'll give a brief synopsis of what we do.
Yes, go ahead.
Sharing my screen. So Centro Campesino is located in the Florida City Homestead area. We are a part-time service center and we gear towards education, mentorship, and tutoring. One of our sites is actually located in the Everglades community, which is a community solely dedicated to migrant workers, farm workers, or agricultural workers. And we serve students in grades K through 8. We're actively recruiting for minimum time positions. It is expected that the prospective member would complete approximately 300 hours, and that service would be ending at the end of July this year. So it's very reasonable. We do have bi-weekly stipends, and also our members are eligible for the Education Award.
Awesome. And I know Centro Campesino is going to be joining me for some career fairs, so we're excited to get the word out about what you're doing. All right, so I know Roxy, you were popping up your visual earlier, so you wanted to go.
Yes, thank you, Naomi. I have to update this. I just realized something. But yes, Public Allies is a full-time commitment similar to the other AmeriCorps programs that have presented. We have the same education award for a full-time commitment for 10 months. So you have to do 1,700 hours of service. So that's a 40-hour plus per week. And then one of the incentives that we do is that we provide personal and professional coaching for career and education goals. So from very early in the program, you create a individual development plan that is like looking ahead for life after Public Allies or life after AmeriCorps, and we help members to be pipeline for those opportunities of higher education or full-time employment. Our monthly stipend varies depending on the city, and is right now I'm very hopeful that with this new AmeriCorps money that is getting, that's gonna bump it a little bit more. We just raised it in Miami. It's $18,700 for the 10 months, so it's $1,800 for each month before taxes. So after taxes, the bi-weekly stipend is about $700 to $800, but we're hoping that this year is going to be raised a little bit, and we'll continue boosting it up to be more aligned for the living wage, especially with the cost of living in Miami that is so expensive. We have Public Allies in Central Florida. The stipend is a little bit lower because again the cost of living in Central Florida is lower than living in Miami. What else? Yeah, that's. For being mindful of the time, and we have a couple of more people.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think Janu is one of our last speakers.
All right, jump right in. Can everyone see my screen?
Perfect.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So, yeah, in Miami, our living stipend is $700 to $800 until monthly, and the difference is it's a 2-year commitment, so it's $700 in year 1 and then $800 per month in year 2. Just like what Roxy was describing in Public Allies, that varies depending on the city you're in, right? So this is for Miami. It could be a little bit less in Detroit, could be a little bit more in New York. So there's also a housing stipend of $1,155. All our core members get health insurance, and there is extra stipends set aside for mental health. And just ongoing training and development. We have our own arc of learning that we do with all of our fellows nationally and locally. We hire local faculty who are, local community experts in some of our issue areas. The main two we've been focusing on in recent years are food justice and education justice. So we have folks who, names a lot of people on this call will probably recognize, who are, coaching the fellows monthly throughout the year. And I just say it's all intensive. It's a full-time experience, so the expectation is that fellows are doing this 2-year commitment and nothing else. And I'll say, just to address the question, because I know there are a few people who are curious about other ways they might serve that's not full-time. There are ancillary programs that Repair the World runs. There's one right now, especially as a response to the pandemic, called Serve the Moment, which runs for 10 weeks at a time and also provides a stipend. So that's something I would encourage folks to look into. And then, of course, just our episodic volunteer opportunities that anybody is welcome to come serve at any time.
Yay, thank you. So, I once again want to thank all of these incredible partner organizations for joining us, taking the time. I know you all are extremely busy, if it wasn't clear from what everyone was sharing, managing, so many core members and different program activities. So thank you for everyone who could also attend and ask really great questions for our guest speakers. And before we leave each other shortly, I wanted to reiterate, I will be sharing the different slides that were shared, the contact information for everyone. I've been keeping track of what's in the chat to make sure you have that information. And last but not least, this is the first event of a 2-part series. So I'm going to share the slide that includes the information about our next event that comes up in a few weeks. And it's called Happy Hour. It's a play on happy hour and how to stand out. So if you're seriously considering applying to one or more programs, you might as well put your feelers out there. we're going to be coming back together on Tuesday, April 6th, same time, slightly different place. There's a different registration link. So this is a chance to learn more about the application process if you haven't started yet. If you have started yet, what are the kinds of questions that are coming up for you? You could bring your resumes, maybe get some critiques on that, on what you can do to boost them. Maybe there are things that you missed putting in there about your skill sets you just didn't realize were worthwhile including. And also, perhaps there are some ways to even practice the interviews that you would have if you get to go on in the process. So I hope you can join us for that. This will be shared. If you want to review what was mentioned today, there's a great Facebook group or a page that was just started called the South Florida Service Collective, and I want to make sure everyone gets a hold of that. So I'm putting that into our chat. And yeah, thank you so much. My name is Naomi. It was a pleasure having you. You can also contact me if you have any questions, but I will send you an email sometime tomorrow. So you'll be hearing from me again.